Hello, greetings. This is Interstellar Radio. Today's date
Greetings.
is greetings. All right, today's date is October 13th, 2019. We have Retro on the line. All right. Okay. All right, we're going to bring in like my lifetimes with planet destroying and karma. So whenever
Yeah.
you're ready to go. So
Mm-hmm. Seeing if any presidents want to come in for this at this moment.
mhm.
I'm seeing a feels like a Lyran human right now. It's coming in.
Okay.
Of course, I'm not taking her inside myself, but I am receiving from her still, as anyone listening wants to know.
Okay. So planet, whatever you can pick up from that lifetime.
I
Whatever they want to
see
say.
you. Yes, you were a destroyer, but you were also a healer at that time.
Hmm.
I believe that you had some people that you were close with, some relationships, and it feels like even though you were not understood at that time, you had some people that were important to you. Um, of course, you would not have told anyone about this because it would have been seen as a weakness, I believe. And
Hmm. Hmm.
I believe you had created some engineer. You had some ingenuity in the healing technology at that time.
Hmm.
Uh, Small advancements, but they were unique to what you knew and what you saw and what you discovered on some of the planets you conquered.
Okay.
And so yes, you have destroyed and conquered many planets, but you've also brought healing technology, so it is more balanced than you may believe or see it to be. And I see that this healing technology was created because these people that you close to you needed them.
Hmm.
I also believe that you had some sort of sympathy, even at that time, for some people who were sick.
Yeah.
So it was a very mixed life. Even though it looks violent on the surface, it was still mixed. There were still positives to it, of course.
That's good.
Um,
Hmm. I'm still going through karma for that.
I see that the karma you are facing, it feels like you are moving on. You've moved on from most of it, from what
Mm-hmm.
I see. Though at this time, it is more of a you're wrapping up things as we speak. This lifetime will wrap up most of what's left, I would say, because you are not only continuing the healing through the messages you send important messages, you channel important messages, but you are also working to save this world as well. You are connecting to this world and other worlds. You are working on more connections than you are destruction,
Yeah.
as I see it. And so as you connect to these reptilian beings, these beings that want to keep us in the dark, you're bringing it to the light. You're fighting them, of course. Some of them used to be on your side. That's what I'm feeling, actually. These some of these used to be some of your old teammates.
Yeah.
Um, but of course now you are in a battle with them because you have gone down the path that you have. Um,
I guess after all that that destruction, more light came out of it. You can say basically. Hmm. That's good.
could you repeat that?
after all that darkness, light came out of that lifetime.
Yes. Very light in the lifetime, you have also allowed the more healing to take place, of course. Not only in the technological aspect, but also when you destroy a planet, you have those vibrations still out there that have to be um, dealt with, of course. You put the pressure on them to deal with these things that they do not, that they have not taken care of yet, I'd say.
Hmm. That's good. All right.
I see you also as a mummy in that lifetime.
Huh.
Um, you were buried somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Um, in actually, you were mummified. You were put into a tomb, mummified.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like in some parts of the world, you are still kind of looked upon as a hero of some sort.
Huh.
It's a very rare and kind of small world, not
Yeah.
one that
Yeah.
we really think of. I see
Huh.
Zeta there, oddly enough, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Because
you what?
they were, you know, helped through all this. They were
Yeah.
advanced through all this. You can
Mhm.
say that's good.
So it feels like you are still kind of kept up as a hero sometime, much like our Theros or our Genghis Khans or
Huh. Yeah. Huh.
um,
What? Oh yeah. What about the
Alexander's.
Alexander's? Wow.
It's the same kind of vibe.
Cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's what about like the way I look at the creation of the universe? Yeah, it was kind of similar to like a Genghis Khan type of. There was a lot of darkness, there was a lot of light, but it was had a lot of growing pains.
Yes.
I don't know. What do you see with that?
Hold on. I'm seeing a lot of things that's hard to. There's a lot of um. It's hard to define. One moment.
Okay.
Yes, we have a little of that. We have a little bit of everything in this universe, of course. Uh, you can think of it. Our universe is not created at a beginning and an end, but you can think of it as a circle. You can think of it as a self-contained unit that has all these energies, these contrasting and conflicting, and light and dark, and you know, uh, masculine, feminine, etc. You have the world that is conflicting, and the world that's native of everything that could be thrown at us. Um,
And this universe is harder than
it,
most.
it is more complex,
Yeah.
which is to say, yes, though it is also more dynamic.
Okay.
Um, you do not see worlds of straight oppression for years and years and years on end, for oppression forever. There's always a balance.
Hmm. Yeah, because this world goes on and on with suppression.
Yes,
So
but you can also find the light in that too.
yeah.
It is not a simply relentless, unstoppable force. It is on its own balancing axis as well.
Okay.
So in this way, our world is dynamic. Our universe is dynamic.
Okay. Fascinating.
It is created to learn from this dynamism.
Okay.
So it is learning. Other beings are learning from this dynamism and evolving. Yes.
All right. With let's go to like one of my I feel like I've had an incarnation during the Mozart time period and Beethoven time period. I wonder if you can, I don't know what the guides would say about all that. If you see anything.
I see you in life as a. It looks like a piano tuner as well.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like you were able to hold piano. There are other instruments other than piano, of course. But I see your life as you working on instruments.
Okay.
You played them. You had some pieces, I believe, that were. And you may have not been known as a musician, but you had some pieces that I believe may have inspired other musicians.
Hmm.
Because of course you've had some darker lifetimes, and it can came out that you had some darker, um, more emotions that were expressed through your
Mm-hmm.
music, um,
Mm-hmm.
though very privately, and that they have inspired other musicians with your music, even if you do not have the credit.
Hmm.
Um, but yes, I see you as a tuner. You fix the um,
Instruments. Yeah.
pianos, yeah, the pianos. Well, I'm calling them pianos, even though they're not the
Yeah.
pianos at the time.
Yeah. What? I can't remember what they're called, but yeah, harpsichord. That's what they're called.
Harpsichord.
Yeah, but they went to
Yeah,
piano eventually.
yeah, those kind of things. The idea is there.
Yeah, because that's what
Um,
Neutron. Yeah, Neutron said some of my pieces was stolen by Mozart and Beethoven. Shit.
pieces were stolen by they told them the Mozart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I feel like I wouldn't say stolen. I feel like you had written pieces, you had played pieces that you
Mm-hmm.
short ones
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
were adapted and altered to be put into longer pieces, the longer
Mm-hmm.
sessions.
Interesting.
Um, there are things that they liked that you played, of course. Progressions,
Yeah.
different
Huh.
melody, pieces of melodies that they chopped up and taken from you.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Cool.
I don't see that from what I'm getting, it is not the same mindset that they have today in
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Um, even today, you can edit music very literally and remix it and call it your own.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but then it was even more literal back then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. How about Walt Disney? You wanted to go into that?
Yes, one moment, please. Chilling. Always makes me thirsty.
Yeah.
Walt
Understood.
Disney. So yes, I had gotten a message about Walt Disney briefly. I did not get anything specific. That it was during a small ritual or prayer or you call it spell that I set for healing um, inflammation. And I heard the name Disney just briefly, and I think it's just something that might be worth going into.
Yeah. Go anywhere you like to go.
Yes, I see. Actually, Disney didn't have them aware that I think they had stumbled on a kind of medicine when he created his franchises.
Mm-hmm.
The original ones, going to these stories and changing them and writing them. If you think about how um, mankind, every person has their own stories that are unique, but they can also tell other stories and learn from them and digest them. The universe is a reflection of ourselves. So this is the kind of medicine I believe that he was sort of a healing.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know if he knew this in his life. I do not believe he thought of himself as a healer, but I do feel that natural there was something there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like I can kind of see him in a past life in somewhere in an Arctic Circle, uh, or near the Arctic Circle, and
Mm-hmm.
he would tell folk tales, and he's kind of a shamanic figure back then.
Hmm.
Um, I see him as like a grandma figure. Um, I want to say Finland or Russia, but
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Neat.
Um, so I feel like this kind of stems on that a little bit, the energy.
Yep.
But of course, it goes much further than that because he went read all these stories, these folk tales, of course, and he had a library of them which is adapted to Disney. And he had the Disney characters that are meant to be magic. It's all very Atlantean as well.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, I get he was a mid. Of course, everybody had magic lifetimes, but he was definitely
yes,
a magician in his past.
yes, that is
And
there too.
I did feel like he was like a librarian too. Later on when
Mhm,
books became like a storyteller
mhm,
over time too throughout lifetimes.
yes.
It was kind of built it up. Neat.
Mm.
Is there anything else from that?
Well, I was gonna say I believe that the connection that people have with the stories, of course, with the characters in the stories, is used as a medicine, a reflection of
Yeah.
themselves.
Hmm.
Um, it
Yep.
is used the stories are used to be related to learn from, or to bring a message about, or to entertain. Usually to entertain as well as other things, but um, good stories they generally have some sort of reflection on life. They
Hmm.
have a truth of them that applies to some people, and that
Yeah.
can be a medicine too. That can be a way of seeing oneself.
Well, it's kind of like when people are sick, you would read these stories to like children or
Hmm.
anyone, but usually children because it was like a fairy tales type of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I see something like that somewhere.
Hmm.
So, like a relative or something like that.
Yes, and when you are sick,
Yeah.
that is the time when you go within. You are more astral when you're sick. When your body is
Yeah.
sick and you're resting,
Yeah.
you are very much within.
Hmm.
So you think of these stories that you're told as a child. It kind of takes you places, and there's a reflection of different energies, and it kind of reflects parts of your own life, even if they're very fantastical.
Hmm.
They portray warnings and lessons as well. Um, Sometimes they can be used with propaganda, of course,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
um, but you see that they can be used
Hmm.
in the right cases as a medicine as well, as a healing or learning tool.
Yeah.
Because everyone has their own stories as well. They can be as fantastic as they make them. It's all internal. It's all very high astral as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is a portal.
Yeah, definitely. Oh. All right. So about Epstein
One moment.
and Bill
Yeah.
Gates.
Epstein and Bill Gates. Hmm. I see. Actually, Bill Gates is kind of stressed right now about the events with Epstein.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in communication with Epstein anymore.
No.
I feel like Epstein lost a lot of his outer world privileges to communication.
Hmm.
Yes, he may be relaxing in an island, but it feels like a jail to him.
Hmm.
Um, so these people who want justice um, can take some solace in that. I kind of feel like it's less of a concrete jail and more like a white tattered room in a sense.
Mm.
He has no connection with the outside world really at this point. Um,
What part of the world do you think he's at?
I believe it's in the southern hemisphere. That's all I'm getting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is
Well,
definitely a tropical island, I believe. Um, It feels like I don't think it's Pacific Islands. It leads at like the Indian Ocean or Atlantic.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh,
So what about Bill Gates? What's going on with him?
mm, I see Bill Gates is very high strung at this moment. I'm seeing something is not working out as planned. I see him actually yelling at a lot of people. He's yelling at different people because things are not working to plan.
Yeah, I feel like he's hiding a lot.
He is very much.
I mean,
He's impatient,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
but I see him right now as very impatient, very nervous and worried. Um, he could, it might help him to scream into a pillow or something at this point.
Why would he? I mean, him and Epstein. Why ever you have a connection with him?
um, I feel like actually Bill Gates is asking the same question.
I mean, I think it's they flew in a jet together or something like that. And that's after he was got charges put on him.
I believe so. I see them actually in the past life working together in a military sense.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be part of the military in the same group. They were close
Mm-hmm.
to each other in the military.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, how about what are Bill Gates's connections like? We see alien connections there.
mm, Archon,
Yeah, big surprise.
um, Arcturian,
I always saw
um,
bird, carrion bird.
one moment. Um, I feel like at one point he was actually adopted. He was a different race. I'm not able to pick up what it was.
Mm.
But he was adopted by a carrion. Um,
Hmm.
See, who is like alien. Even um, it looks almost like a gray, but it's not a gray.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
And he was adopted by a carrion. I see a carrion mother, eagle mother. Um, so yes, he may had some carrion traits within him from that lifetime, some connections, but they're not the largest connections.
Mm-hmm.
I feel actually that may have had some impact who he is, his psyche, especially as his desire to become rich and powerful. Of course, if the Kyrians would want to do, or some do, I should say.
Yeah.
It feels like that's what the society back then he was involved in that Kyrian lifetime was, and he was not a Kyrian.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there was some pressure there because he was not himself Kyrian.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even though the Kyrians may not have seen it that way, at least some of them may not have. They may have seen him as a Kyrian, but it feels like there is still some pressure there to be more Kyrian. It is sort of like in some adopted families, if you have different ethnicities, a white family adopting someone of different color, different hair texture, there might be some anxiety to be more like the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even though the parents may be very accepting, it is still
Mm-hmm.
an anxiety that is present for some.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yes, all right. How about CIA activities?
CIA. One moment. Hmm. I see the CIA going into Antarctica. Uh,
Hmm.
not to the exact South Pole, but I see them. I don't see them taking it as seriously as other organizations, but I see them exploring, um, looking for technologies and looking for scientific knowledge that could be hidden and used for their own gains, weapons. Um,
Well, this is a little bit off kilter, but remember that I think the Transformers movie wasn't like was it what the name of that thing was? The bad guy, Megatron, wasn't he found in Antarctica? Frozen? Something like that.
um, yes, I've seen some sort of neck there. It is not the same being as Metatron. Not what was his name? Megatron.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was saying Metatron. As in the Archangel.
Hmm.
Um, it is not the same being, of course, but it is very similar. It is a lot of the same technology. I feel like the robot there is also a mining uh,
Hmm.
robot,
Hmm.
from what I feel. It was
Hmm.
doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Hmm.
Um, it was excavating and lifting large objects, of course. It was built to last as well.
Yeah.
Um, it's very sturdy, of course. Actually, you could probably, if you knew how to start it up again, you could bring it out of Antarctica and use it as it is,
Hmm.
um, with very minor repairs.
Hmm.
I feel like it still could be functional. Um, which, yes, I believe the CIA is looking into as well,
Yeah.
looking for anything they can get at this point. I
Hmm.
believe the CIA is seen as the retired older figure, and actually almost more like a little brother to all the other, shadow organizations. So
Okay.
it is getting what it can get before
Hmm.
everything else is taken, and yeah, it is fighting for what power it has left. Yeah.
Well, who has the most power? NSA.
Hold on a minute. Aerospace companies, NSA,
Yeah.
the CIA will tell you they have most power. That's not what I said. When you asked that, I heard in the CIA, but I believe that's what they want you to know. That's what they want you to believe, that the CIA has most power because it is. Um, you
Yeah.
know how
Sure.
some you
Yeah.
know how some people when they get old they become more childlike.
Yeah.
They become less mature in a sense.
Hmm.
You can say the same thing is happening with the CIA.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that abuse of power. Just
Hmm.
starting wars, doing whatever.
Yes.
I feel like. Yeah.
Yes. Trump pulled out of Syria, of course,
Hmm.
and actually, that might be a good topic to pull on why he did that. Um.
Yeah. If you want to go into that.
Yeah. Let's see if there's something else that was left. Hold on.
Okay.
Nope, that's the last one they had on the list, actually. So yeah, so you
Yeah.
can go into Trump in Syria.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like this is a negotiation with Erdogan. Um, there is some sort of uh, technology or resource that is in Kurdish land at this moment, some information that needs to be gained. And from what I see it, with the U.S. involvement there, that energy is tampering with things. It is disturbing it is disturbing a lot of energies there that would end up disturbing his hand through us finding what it is that is there. So I believe that although publicly Erdogan wants to strike against the Kurds, I believe the plan is still quite limited. That it has been an old energy, the old relationships. It is a natural energy in the Middle East at this moment. It is a continuation of things that have been going on for thousands of years.
Mm.
Whereas the United States is a relative newcomer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So I believe that this drama between the Turkish people and the Kurds, it is a continuation of familiar energy that is normal, or seen as normal. Um, so it does not affect their search as much. But I feel like there are secrets within the Kurdish territories, um, or within the Kurdish, maybe within the Kurdish DNA itself, with the Kurdish people.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what Erdogan wants.
Mm-hmm.
And that is partly what Trump negotiated for, because it feels like it's not going to be genocide, but it is going to be it is meant to be getting information or technology, mostly information, some kind of information
Mm-hmm.
to the Western powers through Turkey. Um, so they are talking with Erdogan at this point secretly,
Mm-hmm.
and you need this layer of peace to happen in order for um, this order they need to go on to occur. It is up to Turkey now with anything. Um, it is not positive, but it is not as negative as it needs to see either. Um,
Well, that war in that area, is that Anunnaki energies or is that Syrian? Or
one
no?
moment. I see a lot of Jin there, of course, but
Yeah, of course.
the wars in general need to look. Syrian, I'm seeing, it feels like, yes. Yes, it is Syrian energy at this moment. One moment, sorry.
No, no worries.
I believe that the Syrians' energy is with the local people, the local militaries, not the countries themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It is with the people. The energy from the people are very Syrian.
Mm-hmm.
The rebel groups, the different military groups are Syrian. ISIS, all the rebel groups in Syria, actually, as well.
I always made a connection with Syria and the Syrians. You know, the alien Syrians.
hmm
Is that what you're referring to?
I'm
The
referring
alien.
mostly at this moment, as far as the war energy. The Syrian energy is mostly with the insurgencies, the radicals,
Okay.
not the people with billion-dollar budgets, but the ones that are taking guns and taking territory, the ones that want to influence the governments more than those that are already in government. Uh, so the forces that want Assad out, the forces that want liberation, or the forces that want to control what is not controlled at its current state, feel more Syrian. The elements that run counter to the governments are Syrian,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that would include the ISIS as well. Although I see a lot of D-line energy with ISIS. Um,
Yeah. Felines have
mhm,
some of them want to eradicate humanity.
exactly.
feeling I get from that. And they're worse than the reptilians.
Yes.
I'm aware.
Um, I believe that actually ISIS has some ability to use the black goo, or had some ability. Uh, Not as much as other governments have, of course, but I feel like ISIS was given the ability to use black goo.
What is black goo?
There's a black goo that is, it's mostly an astral from I'm seeing that it's meant to
Mm-hmm.
terrorize people. It's meant to bring them more negative. It's meant to slow them down. It brings people into a state of fear
Is that
and unhealth. Yes.
well? How do they bring that in through magic or jinn or
It is.
what?
It is mostly an astral at this moment.
Okay,
It is.
so it's done in astral though. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. Okay,
But I see that being heavily used by ISIS at the moment.
yeah,
This
yep,
the black
yeah.
goo.
Well, it's kind of all around them.
Yeah.
The aliens put it around them, something like that. To
Yes.
control them. Yeah, I can see
Hmm.
that. That's different. I've heard that term before. Lovely. I mean, a lot of this stuff that wars here have to do with wars on other worlds too.
Hmm.
Like it's a continuation here. It's kind of to keep us at a low vibration.
So yes, as you can see, ISIS is and was very brutal.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
that is
oh, yeah.
definitely an alien energy there.
Well, I have
Um,
one. Um. How about Yemen?
Yemen, of course, yes. There are some. It feels like there are some Atlantean artifacts there and energy that are buried at this point. Of course, if you wanna call something your own, you have to get rid of the riffraff that claim it. The same thing for the Kurds, of course. The Turks want
Mm-hmm.
to get in there and claim things,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, even within their own borders, if not in Iraq and Syria.
Yeah.
Uh, though they would take over Iraq and Syria, at least the northern parts, if they could. Uh, it is all Ottoman territory at one point.
Yeah. The Saudi
Hmm.
Arabia, I think, took over it in some ways.
Took over Yemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Military.
Hmm.
And
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
Funny enough, even though the Saudis are so-called allies of the Western powers,
Yeah.
they are still reluctant to hand over whatever it is that they're looking for. Um, Even though Yemen is there's an ancient energy there, of course, ancient technologies, ancient war
Mm-hmm.
technology as
Mm-hmm.
well. The Saudis are reluctant to hand over the secrets, so to speak,
So
even though they are back
yeah.
to the Westerns.
So yeah, there's a word. I mean, I feel you probably feel there's a Stargate there.
Yes,
I guess it's like one of the more powerful ones. I think it's activated from what it feels like.
it does look like that. Yes,
Oh,
I see.
yeah. Go ahead.
I see some Chilean, but also Pleiadians going through it. Uh, I see a lot of the Pleiadian energy within southern Arabia and even the Horn of Africa. Uh, there's Pleiadian energy there,
Mm-hmm.
and down the coast of it, um, south, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I see some sort of Pleiadian vibrations there. Um, of course, there are also reptilian energies, not only in the Middle East at this time with the wars, even though it's more feline. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I believe there's also a portal within the mountains in Iran, in the Georgia area, uh, the Caucasus and Iran. There's somewhere in there is a portal too,
Yeah.
and that's where you have a lot of their Syrian, I believe. A lot of their
Yeah.
feline Syrian.
I mean, yeah. It feels like Iran's being so manipulated.
Yes, of course.
The people there, like majority, are fine.
Hmm.
It's only just some people.
It is their government, of course, but
Hey, how about the media blackout with Yemen? What do they say about that?
I believe it's the time on seeing a negotiation between the West and
Hmm.
Saudi Arabia, of course, because the West wants its information, it wants its technology for its own. Um,
Hmm.
and I believe the reason why the media is blacking out on this, for one, Saudi Arabia is our ally, our quote unquote ally, even though they have little social values in common with us. They had people, of
Hmm.
course.
Hmm.
Um, but at the same time, they don't want people to question why the war is there. Because the
Yeah.
more people question it, the
Hmm.
more um, the more the answers will have to come out.
So they might as well just not say anything about it at all. It's
Yes,
like,
and
oh,
the
yeah,
important thing here is not even the Saudis are aware of what is there entirely. I believe they want to know why the West is wanting this.
yeah,
What is there? Of course,
yeah.
obvious, yeah.
Oh, here, I don't think we did this before. How about the control structure around CNN
The
and
control
then
structure on CNN. Hold on,
yeah, the mind
CNN.
control and we'll do Fox also. Like who's running the show? You start with CNN. See what you feel on that. Yeah, breathe deeply.
CNN. Um, I feel actually Clinton is deeply
Oh,
controlled at the Clintons.
wow, big surprise there, huh?
Yeah. Well, they can call it the Clinton News Network. So
But yeah, exactly. Remember that.
yeah. So there's the faction of the Chileans that are controlled it too.
And
I
then
believe
yeah,
it has some deep and hard to find connections with the Crown in England as well. It is your Illuminati news
yep,
network, so to speak.
yep.
Um,
At least one side of the Illuminati, one agenda,
yes, of course
and
it is.
then Fox is like the other side of the Illuminati.
Actually, I see Fox as more Syrian based.
Interesting. Hmm,
Um, but
that's good.
because they are amping up the revelations of the war.
Yeah. Oh,
They
okay.
are,
Yeah, that's not
it,
good
it,
then. That's
you know,
right. That's
it's
right.
not good. It's
That's
they're
not good at all.
Syrian.
Shit.
I see
Yeah,
Syrian and what
yeah,
else? Um,
yeah. They're the War Drum
Carrion.
Network.
Yeah, World War
Yep,
Network.
yep, yep.
Syrian, Carrion. Yes. Of course, the bald eagle, the patriotism. We're number one. We're number one.
Yep, yep, yeah.
Um,
It's yep,
very Carrion, and there's also Syrian war drumming, of course.
and just get rid of both of them.
Yeah, kick
Yeah,
both to
because
the curb.
Fox is the CNN's not the war channel, but they are everything else. And
Yes, they
Fox
are
is
the
the war
propaganda
channel.
wing. Yeah.
Yeah, and Fox is the war propaganda.
Mhm.
Yeah, anytime there's a war, they're all for it.
Exactly.
And now, like the way they all dress and everything, they're all wearing, they're all makeup. It's like Hollywood. It's like I don't know if that you know what I mean? It's like, what is a guide's, what do they say about all that? Just mind control, MK Ultra.
Mind control. I'm telling. It is a brand of very forward mind control. Um, of course, if you see the way that they discuss things,
Mm-hmm.
especially on Fox,
Mm-hmm.
it's very forward. When they're
Yeah.
forward like that, it eliminates other things in the question.
Yeah.
Um, it is a
Like,
very tricky, elusive sort of mind control, unless you know how to spot it. Um,
yeah.
is it an A or is it B? When it actually it's C, of course. Um, but they don't tell you C. They say C could not exist because one reason or another that's weak. Um, and so it's very the logic there can be very manipulated, of course. Do you love America? Do you support our troops? What does that really have to do with our policy?
So, but the structure of that, is that CIA doing that kind of? I mean, they're channeling, right? In some ways.
Yes, it is CIA there in Fox, of course.
Yeah. What about CNN?
CNN, I see a lot of Wall Street,
Yeah.
of course.
The Queen.
Illuminati. What's that?
The Queen.
Uh, yes, in some senses, but it is not. Uh, the Queen doesn't really dictate what goes on there. But it's still connected because it's connected to the Illuminati, and to other mind control. It is a gentler form of mind control.
Okay.
Yes, it is less. It's less forward than the war drum of Fox.
Okay. How about what influence from Queen of England over America? I mean, is it England still controlling America?
One moment, sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
I felt attack out of that question.
Send your energies. Not trying to attack you.
And no, there's something else trying to.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I get faulted actually too.
He wants me to say obviously America's independent, but
Well, that's what they say.
yeah. Of course, we're not part of the Commonwealth, but we're still culturally connected to the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Um, it is not it's not a very obvious governmental connection.
No.
It is through the global institutions that we are still connected and ruled by, just
Yeah.
like a lot of other countries are. Um, but especially the United States is still controlled, where England has a lot of say in some global decisions. I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
England still has sway culturally over us, as well as
Mm-hmm.
globally. It is through banking. There's a lot of banking connections to the crown.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of reptilian energies too connected. The Illuminati,
Yeah.
magician, black magicians.
Oh, here. How about this one came out of nowhere. How about Alex Jones? What do you see with Alex Jones? I think yeah.
The first thing I felt was I believe that there are shadow government agencies like the CIA, of course. It feels like the CIA is actually having fun with him, in a sense.
Oh, shit.
It feels like they're having fun with him. There is manipulation on him at this point, and it's
like getting him downloads or something, or
not just that. Like, yes, they give him downloads, but they also lock in some other things.
like call him up or following him around and shit like that, and
Mostly in astral at this point. It's kind of controlling him. I think that he has implants in him.
jeez.
He has. When I'm seeing, it feels like he does see some truth, but at the same time, a lot of his insights, I would say, still appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's sort of a manipulation on us as well. Because he could have a lot of truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he's being manipulated to be a certain way, and that is to reflect how all quote unquote conspiracy theories should be. with the so it is sort of a spectacle to the public as
And
well.
that's an astral where a lot of that's
Well,
being done.
the astral affecting the physical.
Yeah,
But yes, it is affecting the astral as well.
yeah.
There are implants. Uh, of course, in astral, he's much more sane and controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but in the physical world, he is being manipulated, mind controlled. Even if he does not believe it, he will say he's not. He will say he does this, that, and the other, and he does this, that, and the other. So he does not maintain being manipulated, but he is manipulated in some ways that he does not see and will not be able to see because they do not want him to see yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
he will, if you told him this, he would definitely fight against it and say no, no, no. But you know,
Yeah.
there are some crafty people in. Um,
Because some people think it's a psyop
well, of course, that it kind of is. Think about it.
in some ways. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
But not from Jones's point of view, though, right?
right. Of course not.
I
Then
mean,
Joan think he's the queen of the crop, of course, but
yeah,
that's not the case. He is manipulated heavily in ways that he does not see.
and that's all his paranoia and
Mm-hmm.
crazy rants and all that. That
Mm-hmm.
here's a bunch of good information, and now go crazy. Something like that.
Yeah.
So
Um. Yeah.
something like that.
But then also he's much more saner and much more controlled.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it helped in the awakening, but
Yes.
it did get people's attention though. But
Mm-hmm.
it has its drawbacks.
Yeah. So that's why people need to learn discernment.
Yeah.
That's why people need to be neutral when they encounter things like that.
Yeah.
Because if they're not neutral and you think you get attached to this one way of seeing things, there's nothing that can convince you otherwise.
Yeah.
Um, so you need that neutrality there in some regards.
Okay. All right.
Anything else?
No, that's about it. Anything from anything else from the guides?
On what? On your guide?
Anything? No, or okay, sure. Sure.
I see a lot of keep up doing good work, of course. Things will be revealed to you soon. It feels like from the Jin
Huh.
case, from some of the investigations, it feels like some things will be revealed soon. Although you may not see it soon, it may not be soon enough.
Okay.
Detail, but it'll be revealed. I'm seeing it. Just like, one moment. It feels like there are some things that need to happen first.
Okay.
Before everything can be revealed. Of course, there are some learning opportunities here that it feels like. But eventually, things will calm down in that area.
Mm-hmm. What about the creative stuff I'm working on, like the rabbit comic and other comic projects?
Yes, I feel like the Android comic is calling your attention right now in Astro.
Yeah.
It feels like your characters actually want to talk to you in a sense.
Yeah.
So you could channel them if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Or you could actually just channel them and record yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
I get that. Yeah, I can feel that. They want to be heard. Neat.
it feels like one of them was your brother in the past life, actually.
Okay. Okay. Neat.
Or is it related to? It's connected to your brother, I should say.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I feel that the universe is allowing it to be.
Yeah.
Unraveled, you can say.
Yes, the Android stuff is going to be very positive for you.
Yeah. Neat.
One moment. Rabbit. I feel like the rabbit right now is kind of taking a. It's not going away, but it's taking a back seat.
Mm-hmm.
It is reliable. It is something you know. It's something in your heart, of course. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like at this point, you tend to shift from other projects or to other projects. Like your energy shifts and it kind of reflects.
Yeah.
Just like your channeling, they reflect something that you're going through.
Yeah.
Something that we're all going through, especially
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
when you bring in Archangel Michael in the webinars.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you can tell that it carries some personal meaning to someone in the chat, at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe more than one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So of course, your channeling carries some personal information through you.
Mm-hmm.
So it is healing you, and I feel like that this um Android stuff is going to be positive for you, and I feel like the rabbit will take a brief backseat um, because that'll come more naturally because you're already connected. And yeah.
What about it
Um,
getting it? What about it getting attention or something? You know, mainstream or something,
Maintain attention to the rabbit.
or anything at this point.
Hmm. I kind of feel your rabbit. I believe they'll eventually get some attention, but I do not see it as your biggest project.
Oh,
I see. I kind of feel like you're going into anime in a sense, but maybe not entirely.
oh wow,
Um,
fascinating. Yeah.
not. I mean that you may overlap somewhere in places with
Mhm.
anime
Yeah.
or manga or one of those two medium. But
Yeah.
I'm feeling some of your creations will have the youth appeal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm seeing more so than the
Mm-hmm.
actual literal anime or manga.
Yeah. Neat.
Um, and I feel like the Android stuff is going in the right direction. Of
Cool.
course, what is going to be relevant to you? It's going to be your chosen at time, and that's what's going to be relevant to you.
Mm-hmm.
When you have channelings that are much more relevant to you and other people,
Mm-hmm.
videos that that have that meat to them, that that feeling, that connection with them at the time, those are the ones that seem to have more success, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Other updates, I would say.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Cool.
those are the ones
All
that
right.
have that biggest draw to them in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
At least to
Cool.
some, yeah. So,
All right. Thank you.
you're welcome. Blessings.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. And all right. Have a great night. Take care.
Take care.